Zatima, are you single?
Look at the smile. Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
Is there?
Yeah, she's single. She's single. Single and ready to mingle. But I'm going to tell you right now, though, in all honesty, anybody coming to check for Crystal going to have to deal with me. And I got 3 boys. We a gang.
They a real gang.
We checking anybody.
Pull up.
Because it's family right here. Better come correct. Gotta deal with me.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's family. He's blood.
Why? Why do I get a lot of people who want me to talk about this? I want to talk about it. So, you saw the title. I'm going to be talking Devale and Crystal and if they're more than friends. Do I think that Devale and Crystal are more than just friends, co-workers on the set of Sistas and the soon-to-be Zatima series? Yes, I think they are more than friends, but not in the way that you're thinking. That they're having an affair, that they are lovers outside of work. From what I've seen, these two are family. Let me explain why. I want to give a list, because I actually took time to bullet point down these things because I'm sick of people asking me, what do you think, Jeremy? Talk about it. Number 1, it ain't my damn business. So that's 1. Number 2, I don't know them on a personal level. Even if I did, it's not my place to call them out for saying, I hung out with Crystal and Devale and I can tell that they're more than just friends. No. Number 3, I am not a gossip channel. I am not a tea spilling channel. I am a channel that is run by me. Well, I run a channel that is created as a fan. I talk about the shows. I give my thoughts on the characters. If the actors talk about their characters in interviews, or sometimes I've had actors contact me, give me intel that I'm allowed to talk about, then I'll do that. But I'm not going to sit here and create drama on my platform because I'm aware that there are certain people who watch my content. And the last thing I want to do is create lies or a false narrative just to get numbers on the channel. Look what happened over the past 24 hours with Cardi B beating Tasha K in court for over $1 million. And I'm not even worried about the lawsuit aspect. I'm worried about being a credible content creator. Because I'm used to the whole, Jeremy, is Tyler bringing back the haves and the have-nots? Why don't you talk about the series anymore? What about Too Close to Home? If Loving You is wrong, he needs to bring that back for a proper conclusion. Do you work for Tyler Perry? Can you give me a job with Tyler Perry? You know what? I've become used to that. What's that called? Is it called white noise? It's like basically when, let's say, you have a ticking clock in your room or your office, and it's annoying at first, but over time you get used to it that you don't even notice it. Kind of like, people like myself that sleep with the fan on. Like, it could be 20 degrees outside, but I'll have my fan on low because I need the noise in order to help me go to sleep. It just, I don't understand. It's like the people who send me these questions and you say, ooh, Jeremy, I saw them smiling at the game together. I'm guessing these are people who haven't been on my channel long and looked at my content to realize I'm not that guy. I'm not that content creator, because I just get sick to my stomach thinking about the fact that there are people, and some people think that I use my channel to do this, create content which spits on the truth as well as tarnishes a person's personal life as well as their image in order for me to get views and monetization on the channel. Number 4, Devale is a family man. His whole thing is family. His wife, his kids, podcast, most of the social media he posts is him and his family. And yet you want me to talk about how he hangs out with Crystal's too much. Number 5, again, Crystal is a close friend. damn near might as well be considered family. She's been on their podcast. There was that lovely moment where Devale and his brother brought Crystal some home cooked food. I think it was Devale's mom that made the food for Crystal, who was suffering from COVID at the time. So it's crazy to me how people will look at just public photos of them in public, you know, at an award show or at a game, and automatically assume there's something foul going on behind the scenes, when something tells me they don't even follow them on social media and see the loving moments between the two that give off that brother-sister energy. Not to mention the fact that she's godmother to Devale and his wife's, recently newborn son. Number 6, Tyler Perry cast members hang out all the time. It isn't just Devale and Crystal. I've seen people like, yeah, there you go. He's like, you got good-looking people hanging out together all the time. There are a lot of good-looking cast members within the Tyler Perry franchise, you know, from Ruthless to Bruh to The Oval, Sistas, even in past shows, Haves and Have-Nots, If Loving You Is Wrong. There have been cast members of the opposite gender from multiple shows who have hung out together. They grow in groups on vacation. Sometimes they go to sporting events together. More often than not, I don't really see people kind of shipping this character or this actor and that actor. So why is there flack for Crystal and Devale? Number 7, and this is probably the last one I'm going to list here. Aside from them hanging out just to hang out, and again, something to remember at the basketball game, Devale was with one of his sons. And he was sitting with Crystal as well as 2 Chainz. Nobody really talks about that, y'all. People, I don't want to say y'all as in everybody, but the people who sent me this stuff were like, yo, look at them hanging out together. It's like his wife must be going crazy. What? Did you ever stop to think that aside from them just hanging out to hang out, that this could be promotion for the show? Because typically when you think about it, look at the time frame. Now, when these two went to the basketball game together, and excuse me for flipping the pages, but I wrote down the dates just to show how ridiculous this is, that people want me to lie. It was between January 15th and 16th that they posted. They both posted, you know, like a set of photos. Crystal serving looks on the court. Whew. If I was a player on a court, I'd probably get on the bench because I would be too distracted with Crystal sitting there. But it's interesting because the game happened like the weekend after the episode, where Zach and Fatima had their great moment at Zach's new house, and I'm like, that's the moment Zatima was born. And then it also happened before last week's episode, when they had their couch moment, you know, not just the sex, which was hot, but, you know, their scene where they talk about trusting each other and whatnot. So, I just think that it's ridiculous for people to attack Crystal in the comments of her post when she posts something with Devale. I think it's ridiculous when people go into the comment section of Devale's post, and when he posts something with Crystal that, man, that's a shame, you hanging out with her too much, you're married, what about your wife, what about your kids? I think as fans, because I feel like there are those who are fans who value the actors as well as the content they create on the show, on their social media. But to see fans, well, not even fans, but trolls who just cause trouble for no reason. And I feel like, you know, Devale and Chris, like, again, I don't know them personally, but I feel like they just know that they know who the real fans are. They know who their real online community is. The ones who cheer them on, you know, on screen and off screen. And then there are those who just want to cause drama for the sake of causing drama. And I just want to make it clear for the people who sent me messages and photos just for the sake of, yo, cover this, I think something shady's going on. I'm not that dude. I mean, Fatima told Karen, it's like, you got the wrong bitch on the right day. It's like one of those situations, but, you know, I'm not a bitch out, you know. But in any case, I just want you to know that, yeah, I think they're more than friends. They are freaking family. And I love that when I see them interact online. So really, to close it out, you know, the closer we get to the Zatima season 1 premiere, which again, I'm guessing is maybe sometime in summer. So maybe May, June, depending on when season 4 of Sistas comes to a close. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more of Devale and Crystal interacting together, either in person or on social media. So for those who just want to start a media frenzy for no reason at all, just think to yourself, is it worth it? Because guess what? More often than not, it's not. Seriously. So check out the Deadass Podcast. Follow Devale and Crystal on social media and just have a good time. There's no need of causing a stir in the comments, because I've seen people in the comments on some of my own videos when I do Zatima breakdowns, when I talk about their scenes and episodes. And, you know, there are episodes where they have love-making scenes, and people, you know, some people are like, wow, you know, Devale's wife is better than I am, because if I would have seen my husband on the couch with another woman like that, even if it was acting, I'd lose it. And that's fair. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but for those who just want to spark controversy just for the sake of sparking controversy, that's where the issue comes in. So, Devale and Crystal, I hope to find a friend like that, you know, to have somebody in the trenches with you. I just love to hear their stories of how they have each other's back when it comes to having scenes together. I mean, even Crystal talked about it in an Instagram live, I believe they did together.
How much percentage is improv? Wow. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's a lot.
Not
of
a lot.
improv.
It's some, but not a lot. It just depends on the scene.
Depends on the scene.
Sometimes he lets us riff.
Yeah, sometimes he lets us go when there's comedic aspects. He kind of lets us do our thing with.
And
the
then
comedy.
sometimes he'll like give us. He'll see certain things happening in the scene.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, wait, say this, say that.
Yeah.
And he'll start spitting stuff at us.
And then once he starts that, just say this, say that. That's when he kind of lets the two of us do what we do.
Yeah.
But our chemistry has been great in part because Crystal is a freaking workaholic, a lot like me. Like the football background in me, I always want to go over scenes. I always want to read. And having a scene partner that wants to do the same thing.
Yeah.
She and I we used to spend hours during camp quarantine.
And even before we even got to set, you'd be
we spent hours every day.
We would like an hour or two a day.
Every day.
To study.
2 hours to study, yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as we're rapping, we're back to studying for the next day. And like, remember that day?
Yo, y'all want to hear a funny story?
I was exhausted.
Funny story.
Oh my gosh.
So the way we shoot depending upon location. And it just so happens that the law firm was first. So Crystal had been shooting early for like 3 days in a row. Yeah. Then there was some mid scenes where I did some stuff at the airport. I did some stuff at the hair salon. But the last week and the last 2 days was at Fatima's apartment. So we're getting to these last 2 days, right? And I know she's tired. I can tell she's tired. And I'm starting to get into my rhythm because now I'm getting into it. So we get done shooting at 9. We go eat dinner from 9 to 10:30. By 11, we get back to the dorms, and I'm like, all right, let's run these lines. And I think we had something like 50 scenes.
It was crazy.
It was something ridiculous. It was 50 pages, not scenes. We had like 50 pages. So I'm running through the scenes, right? And we're, the way we start is we just read through all of the lines first. And when I get to her part, it just get quiet.
Oh, here.
And I'm like, hey.
I'm up.
So we in there till about 1:30 a.m. and she said, D, I don't got it, bro. I gotta go to sleep. I'm so sorry.
I have to get my sleep.
She looked like she was about to cry. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I hate not being on point.
I was like, don't worry, I got this. So I spent all night memorizing my lines and her lines so that if I got there, I could feed her the lines when we got there.
That's a real friend.
Let me tell you, when we got to hair and makeup that morning, I was prepared to, have to go in there and feed her the lines. She was just like, no, I got up an hour early. I got it. We sat down with that piece of paper, and it was like, boom, boom, boom.
And I was in my room doing.
You was doing your makeup.
Like,
I was like, how?
How did you do that?
Your process. Sometimes your partner's process is different than yours, but when y'all work together like that, we was just, and we knocked that shit out too.
I work better under pressure.
You do.
I do.
You do.
I don't know what it is.
And it's interesting to me that there are people who want to highlight quote unquote sketchy moments where it's like, I don't know, is something going on over there? But not enough people highlight the sibling bond these two have. I mean, hell, even Devale said at one point that, you know, Crystal being, yeah, she's single, but anybody who wants to get to her needs to get through me first. Kind of like, you know, that older brother, you know, energy there, where I've always said Crystal and Devale's energy, like on screen is Zach and Fatima, definitely lovers, but off screen, I just see friends and family. That's just me. Like I said, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, how they see things, but I hope this video cleared up any kind of, I guess, confusion for those who don't know what my channel is about and what I do here, and that is to spread facts as opposed to gossip or tabloid level media, so to speak. And if there's anything that I say that's quote unquote opinionated, I give facts to back it up. But that's mainly just when it comes to the shows I review, like with theories and whatnot. Like, hey, I think this is going to happen at the end of the season. Here are pieces of evidence throughout the series or this season which dictate that. But when it comes to the cast personal lives, I'll pretty much stay out of it, because it's not my business. Unless they post stuff that's for the public to view, then, you know, hey, yeah. But when it comes to just coming up with straight up bull crap, that's not what I do here. So yeah, for anybody who sends, you know, photos and everything, if you want me to talk about it, sure. It's like, yeah, hey, look, Devale and Crystal were at a game, or KJ and Mignon hung out outside of work. You know, that's different. But when you send me this stuff and you literally like, yo, they having an affair, but you just send me the same photo 30 people sent me, and you're the one who's saying, hey, they're doing something foul, I'm not going to pay any attention. Like I said, the only reason I'm doing this video is for the fact that I get a lot of stuff like this as of late. I think because, yeah, ever since they announced the spinoff, that's when people have been, you know, really coming out of the woodworks with stuff. I guess because my channel has grown to a point where there are going to be those who want me to post certain things for the sake of putting out a narrative, but that's not what I do. Plus, Crystal follows me here on YouTube, so Crystal is a subscriber. Thank you. I hope, you know, you watch my content, because I love what you do behind the scenes for Tyler Perry Studios, as well as what you do on camera. You're rocking it as Fatima, and I can't wait for the spinoff. So, with that being said, guys, yeah, spread love, not lies. Let's have a good time. Let's enjoy the fact that we have the opportunity and privilege to have a little piece of the lives of not just Devale and Crystal, but any of the cast members who are, you know, willing to share some of their life outside of their shows to the public on social media. It looks like they had a great time at the game. I haven't even watched the full interview that Crystal did on the Dead Ass podcast yet. I remember watching a clip that Devale and his wife posted on their social media, but one of these days I really need to sit back and watch their show. I remember watching, I think it was an episode of the Love Hour, Kev on Stage and Miss Kev on Stage had Devale and his wife on there as guests, and I'm like, one of my favorite internet content creators who was an inspiration for me starting my channel to begin with knows one of my favorite characters from Sisters and his wife, who also have a podcast. And I actually did watch their interview on the Breakfast Club last year. It was pretty good. So yeah, I need to sit back and watch some of their interviews, because I just like their style. Like, they're open and honest about their marriage. And while some think it's a bit too personal, it's one of those things where it's interesting to hear both a male and female perspective on certain things, put it out there to the public, and, you know, it sparks a conversation. So in a weird way, it's almost like the Dead Ass podcast is Devale's real life version of Sisters. I mean, what have I said about Sisters time and time again? I feel like it's debatable, and it could be argued that it is Tyler Perry's most effective show, because it's created conversations that males and females have wanted to have for a long time, but it's never been communicated, because I feel like there are more people of opposing genders talking about Sisters than there were the haves and have-nots, or If Loving You Was Wrong. It's like with those shows, it was about the mystery of who the baby daddy, who killed who, is so-and-so right for doing this, is so-and-so wrong for doing that. But with sisters, we're talking about relationship dynamics. And I feel the same thing can be said about the Dead Ass podcast. So, you know, with that being said, that's really all I have to say. I'm sorry this video is a bit longer than I expected, but I'm tired. It's draining when I get messages like that, but I'm working on not letting it bother me. And it doesn't bother me. It's just like frustrating that these two seem to be very good people to themselves, to each other, and to those around them, just trying to spread love and positivity. But then again, that for every yin, there's a yang. For every positive, there's a negative. For every uplifting post, there's going to be 50 depressing posts, or even worse, in the comment sections of the positive posts, there are going to be those spreading negativity, not just spam, but trolls who just want to make a mountain out of the molehill. And I don't want to be part of that crap. So thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we move closer to 200,000 subscribers, which I am very appreciative of. And again, another reason why I'm making the video, the channel is getting bigger, and I know that the bigger the channel gets, the more, you know, trollish / gossipy news people send my way for me to cover. But unless there are facts to back it up, articles, interviews, statements, I'm not really going to jump on that bandwagon. But yeah, hit the bell icon to select all, that way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media, links are in the description. And if you'd like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.